Alabama traveled to the Swamp Saturday and dominated Florida en route to a 38-10 win. The worst home loss for the Florida Gators since 2002. Does this win say more about Alabama's dominance or Florida not being back to its old self yet? What do you guys think?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and say that this is all about Alabama's dominance, because if anyone, you guys know more than anyone that I have been drinking this Alabama Kool-Aid all year long. I know you want to say, John Brantley got hurt. It tastes awesome right now because my pick was right this week. That's why it tastes awesome right now.
I am definitely, I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm definitely not surprised at Alabama. I mean, they are ranked number 3 for a reason. Richard finished with a 4 consecutive 100-yard game and a total of 10 touchdowns this season. I mean, Muschamp said himself that, yes, they played, but not as hard as they should have, and they definitely made mistakes, and they're going to have to start correcting those issues. But my problem with that is, why are they just now correcting these issues? That should have been corrected since the first game. Alabama is ranked number 3 for a reason. The same way Muschamp is Saban's mentor. I mean, Saban is Muschamp's mentor for a reason. You cannot lack this team. They underestimate them completely. I'm sorry. I'm totally with Lewis on this side. I mean, hey, Alabama is not going to let anything interfere with them holding down their title. It's just not going to happen.
In Jonathan and I's defense, Brantley went down with a high ankle sprain. So now for LSU coming up, they're going to be starting a freshman. I mean, he was the number 1 ranked recruit, but I don't know how they're going to fare against LSU.
Well, we could debate about this all day, but moving on, Auburn paid a visit to Columbia on Saturday and with a late touchdown beat the number 10 Gamecocks. It may not be pretty, but Auburn continues to win. Were we wrong about the Tigers?
You know, I think I cannot give Auburn this much credit at this point. I'll give them credit for holding the running back, Marcus Lattimore from South Carolina, to only 66 yards rushing. That's the only thing that really impressed me. I think what we all learned from this game is that Stephen Garcia is not really – he's not the leader that people have been expecting him to be in the SEC probably for about 3 years now. There have been some questions with his character off the field. He's been in trouble multiple times. A source close to the team told me that no one really has a lot of people don't really have a lot of respect for him because of these decisions that he has made off the field. And the guy just hasn't been able to be the quarterback that Spurrier wants him to be.
And I agree with you. Garcia, to me, is the college football equivalent of John Daly. So much potential, yet he wastes it. And then Connor Shaw now stepping in, going to be the starting quarterback. That being said, though, I don't think that we were wrong about Auburn. This was one of the games that I predicted they might win, South Carolina or Georgia. One of those. I still see them with 6 or 7 wins.
Are we agreeing right now? I think we're agreeing.
I think it's possible.
Well, guys, I'm going to throw some fire
Don't get
in
used to it, Liz.
I got to give Auburn some credit because you guys know every show, all I've done is kick down Auburn, but they have been winning, and I really see them in a high-ranked bowl game, which a lot of people didn't expect after lost Cam Newton.
And not only winning, they did not give up in the fourth quarter, so I'm very, very proud of the Tigers for that. Never get up, you never know what may happen. When we come back, we'll figure out how Florida will handle another tough defense this weekend, and later we'll take you somewhere the welcome mat has never been before. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. Florida will face its second top 3 opponent in 2 games this weekend as it travels to Tiger Stadium for its annual matchup with LSU. This game is always one people such as myself look forward to, but without John Brantley, who is nursing a high ankle sprain suffered against Alabama, do the Gators have a chance to win this game, Hillary?
I'm going to be honest. LSU's ranked number 1, and you know how much I love the Florida Gators, but I see them losing, and I think it's going to be a pummeling. I'm going to be honest because, you know, as people may not know, they announced this week that Brantley's not going to be playing in the LSU game, and they're going to be starting a freshman who has never started in a college game in his entire life. Granted, he was ranked number 1 by Rivals as a high school recruit for quarterback, so you never know. Maybe he can get out there and really shock people, but freshman coming out, starting, especially against the number 1 team, I see him faltering. So I really see Florida struggling against LSU because LSU is a powerhouse. And I just think they're going to run all over the Gators in the Bayou.
I agree with you. And Jeff Driscoll, while he may be the number 1 quarterback in high school, you saw Florida take a very conservative approach with him once he came to the LSU game. He only goes 2 for 6, 14 yards. I think you're going to see that same approach this upcoming weekend against LSU. They're going to try to ease him into that position because there's a chance that he could be there for quite a while this season.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see them ease him into that position, take a more conservative approach, and rely more on the running game with Demps and Rainey, which LSU has the speed on the outside to match them. So I like LSU in this week.
Right, and how about a young guy, Driscoll? First 2 games in his college career, starts halfway against the number 2 team in the nation, and then gets his first start against the number 1 team in the nation in LSU.
He looked like a deer in the headlights.
I mean, really, he did.
Alabama.
And I think that LSU will be able to focus their speed of their defense on that run game. And I wouldn't be surprised if you had LSU bring 7 guys in the box, either blitzing or stopping the run.
Well, these are very good predictions. I can't wait to see the outturn of this. Coming back, we'll bring you a special edition of the Welcome Mat as we go on location with the SEC Director of Officiating, Steve Shaw.